Hello and welcome to my podcast, Conversations with Cornelius, where I, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, discuss, chat and hypothesize on all things from fatherhood, marriage, comedy and everything else in between. From time to time, there will be special guests, but mostly it's going to be me and some regular contributors, including my main squeeze, Noelle Patricia O'Sullivan, aka the wife. So sit back, relax and enjoy Conversations with Cornelius. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius. I am your host, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, and the gantry goes galloping with wildness. They're all horses. Welcome back to season 3 of Conversations.
This is a stud you are, bias.
I'm a pure stud, yeah. So
At least you think so anyway.
When I'm out to stud now, I'm not racing anymore. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm not in the nightclubs, not showing my arse around the place. Like, that's what they do with horses.
Prancing.
They like bring him around the ring, going, "Ooh, he's got a fine arse. I bet he'd be a good sperm donor," or whatever it goes. There's fierce money in that. Fierce money in horse
sperm.
Horse sperm, yeah.
Oh, not regular sperm.
Well,
you've got pretty good swimmers. There might be a few pennies after yours.
Let's just say that if the world needs to be saved through, copulation, good quality, high functioning sperm, don't come to me because I'm smoking a lot of weed at the moment. So my sperm is probably going to be dead, But if I got off it, Noelle, there'd be no fucking stopping me. Would I have your full permission to go out and populate the world?
I suppose the fuck.
Sound. Welcome back to season 3 of Conversations with Cornelius, a podcast that started way back in 2021. It was dreamed up during a mini meltdown that I had in August 2020 when the world was like a nod sock thrown into the wash, and there was no hope. It was hopeless. And I remember just going, what the fuck is going on? Where is my life going? And you going, what can I do? And the next thing, we had podcast equipment ordered.
It's funny how we both relay that story differently. I think you're wrong with your dates. Did you say 2020 that you dreamed it up? It was 2019 you dreamed it up, wasn't it?
No, 2020. August 2020 is when I had kind of meltdown.
Yeah.
Like I had.
When did you start it then?
It was in
January 21.
Yeah.
So, what's confused me maybe is it the series 3?
Yeah. So we'll say
20. Oh yeah, 21 is one series, 22 is the second series. Oh yeah, so it's not how many years.
But you know what? You can't have it all. Like, you cannot be absolutely unbelievably good looking and have the brains then as well to back it up. Like, it's hard for you.
Honors maths. What did you do?
Well, I did pass maths, but I just did it as a protest because I knew I could get an A in honours, actually applied maths. But I just wanted to show the teacher that,
So that's why you just scraped a pass.
I didn't scrape. I think I failed.
Did you fail maths?
I think I failed.
Did you not get your leaving cert?
No.
Did we have this conversation? Yeah, we need to look into that.
I
Bonica.
don't want a leaving cert. I don't want.
Right.
I like what?
Okay.
What good is it to me? Like, am I gonna am I gonna try and get a gig off someone? They're gonna say
it might be part of your self-worth.
All my self-worth is on the floor anyway at the moment. We'll have to fucking pick that up.
Maybe if you passed your leaving cert, it might bump you up a little bit.
Let's start with tables. Give me a table. Hunter, we're still fucking listening to the monitor all these years later. Give me a table there. See how good I am.
7 sevens.
Fucking 49.
Yeah. But right, yeah. So, but what's interesting is, tell me how you would do 7 eighths.
I would go 7 sevens, and then I would what? 7 eighths. How would I do 7? Hold on a second now, right? I've just admitted to the world that I fucking failed past maths.
Oh, I know.
But
what I'm
tell me how you do 7
No,
eighths.
because you have an interesting way of doing your maths that is very good for basic maths.
Fucking dyslexia way of doing maths. I don't know. How would I do 7 eighths? 7 eighths.
Well, you probably would have gone. I was close by saying 7 sevens, so you would have gone 7 sevens plus 7.
Probably would have done 7 tens and taken 14 off it.
Yeah,
that's what I would have done.
Yeah, and you do that for, like, how much change I'm going to get from a €50 note. You do it in, whereas I do the whole adding it back up. But you do it from, like, you do it the most random way. But at this stage, the level of maths that we use day to day, they work out the same. If not, you're actually faster.
Have you ever had to fucking use Pythagoras to get you out of a sticky jam?
Oh, weekly.
Weekly, right? Okay. Well, I've never had to use it to get out of a sticky jam, and I've never even been in a sticky jam. I'd eat jam, alright, but being in a sticky.
What's your favourite jam flavour?
Do you know what? Growing up in my house, we just only ever had raspberry, and I always thought, and this is true, right? I always thought we got raspberry because my mum and dad couldn't afford strawberry, and they were the same fucking price the whole time.
Your mum obviously just preferred raspberry.
Yeah, and so strawberry's the answer, but I grew up on fucking raspberry. That's another reason why I'm so fucked up.
Well, I like a cheap strawberry jam, and I like a dear raspberry jam.
What's one thing now? You like a cheap strawberry or a dear raspberry? How explain?
Because
how can you have a cheap strawberry jam?
Because they're the basic ones that they're nearly like your little chip no peel. They're basically like a jelly, sweetened jelly.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas the raspberry,
they're not as produced.
So the raspberry one then is more fruity. It would have raspberries. It'd be sour, or it'd be more of a. It's like the homemade blackberry jam.
I like a bit of blackberry jam as well. We're drinking wine, and I'll tell you, I've been off to drink all over Christmas. Well, I went out one night, but I've been sick, so this is. We had a long day today with the kids doing loads of shit.
It was a nice day.
It was, it was long. No, it was
and we didn't have one of them for like 3 hours.
Oh yeah, that was lovely this morning when Harvey was at a birthday party. But anyway, we were very busy today collecting cars, and they're going back to school tomorrow. But I haven't been drinking much. And in fairness to yourself, you haven't really been you haven't really been drinking that much.
I've had many a Christmas where I drank a lot more.
Like,
it's probably the best way to say it.
Yeah, if anyone was looking from the outside in, they'd be saying that girl is a problem. But you haven't drank like half as much as normal.
In comparison, yeah.
No. So this particular glass of wine is.
It's one of the it's one of the few drinks we've shared together.
Come here, cheers, baby.
As the Christmas season ends.
Yes,
and it's actually finished with us with a week, but. Well, kind of, but so today is the 4th of January. This episode is going to be going out on Monday, whatever day is today. We're very ahead of schedule.
We're ahead of schedule. We normally do this on a Sunday.
Today is Wednesday.
So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's coming out in 5 days' time. And it's this glass of wine, it feels right. What is it? What kind of wine is it?
It's a Pinot Grigio. You picked it up actually the last day.
No, it's
before
very
Christmas.
sweet. Like, is that Pinot Grigio? Is that what Pinot is? I love when people say, "I'll have a Pinot." I'm like, "Oh, that person knows what they're talking about."
Well, you would say red or white.
I'll have
Pinot Grigio is white. Pinot Noir, isn't it? Is red.
Noir is that? Noir is the French for black, though. But I suppose you could have, you could.
Well, that would.
Yeah, you could be
like
red, could be noir, all right. Do you know the way some of their reds are dark, velvety,
the black version of the white wine.
See how they could do that, all right. Give it. Do you know what we will call it? We will call it noir. What's the French for red? Rouge. You wouldn't like rouge wouldn't be any good, like. You know?
But is it not a grape? Isn't that the whole Chardonnay region? Isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, let's stop now. We're showing our ignorance.
Where am I? Good question, Noelle. I
didn't
am
ask.
in the John Hume War Room, and the heater is on. It is beautifully warm compared to the rest of our house, because we've been out of the house all day, so the heating has been off. Our house is nearly 200 years old. It is extremely difficult to heat. And that is an understatement, isn't it? Like, it's hard to heat.
Well, yeah.
It is
You're
hard
right,
to heat.
actually.
But if you concentrate on one room, right, then it's not too bad. So, I have a fire inside here in the John Hume War Room. It's not lit tonight now. I just have the heater on. But and I wanted to put the fire on, but you were like, no, don't put the fire on.
No, it's warm enough. We have the heating on in the boys' room as well.
And of course, the boys' rooms obviously are heated. They, sitting at the table. The shutters are closed to keep the heat in. And I'm happy to be back doing the podcast. I enjoyed the break, but I'm happy now to be back doing this weekly. And of course, I have a new podcast coming out as well. And I want to give that a big shout out. Tree by the Lead, myself and Chris Kent and Sinead Quinlan. So you'll be able to get that wherever you get your podcasts as well. And that's myself and two lads.
Oh, actually, on that, I heard the trailer for it or something, and Chris was like, but one of the quips in it is Chris is like, and you can get your podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Isn't that right, Cornelius? Were you adamant about like it has to be everywhere, lads? You have to be able to say wherever you get your podcasts. Because I remember when we were setting this up, and we hadn't had a balls notion of how to set it up, and you were like, we have to be able to say wherever you get your podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts.
I think it is like I think you have to be able to say that, because if you're saying listen to the podcast, guys, all you got to do is go to Spotify and then go to Anchor or go to Apple Music, those three places. Whereas if you can just go to everywhere, then it just takes away that fucking, where did he say Anchor?
I thought that was just, I was like, oh, was that Cornelius Patrick's input?
It possibly was. It's a different type of podcast anyway to this. The three of us are comedians, different ages. Sinead's in her 20s, Chris is in his 30s, and I'm in my late teens. And we're all from Cork. That's about as much as we have in common.
And you're all comedians.
We're all comedians. We're all from Cork. But like Sinead has a totally different sense of humour to me, and Chris has a different sense of humour to me, and I have a different sense of humour to them. And I think it's, I love it. I love doing it. It's great crack. But this podcast...
And I mean, you've only been practicing for a small bit, like, right?
Since April last year. So
the long-awaited...
and actually...
I'd say myself and Niamh, Chris's wife, are like, what the... They're out every week. Have these women on the side. This podcast is supposedly coming. I mean, it's very easy for, when the partners go gigging, at least you'd usually see some form of a, photo of them at a gig or something. Yeah. These podcasts. Just with the three of us meet up there for 2 minutes, take photo, and we can go and see our old dolls then.
Yeah, that'd be great. And have I full permission to do that then, yeah?
No. Oh, the podcast is actually coming out now, so whatever you got up to since April, off you go.
I've got away with absolutely fuck all, but I could have got away with loads. That's what I'm taking from that. How am I feeling physically? That's a great question, Noelle. Seriously, honest to God, no, I appreciate that. Like, because that's again, Ma.
I didn't.
You did. You just don't remember. So I mentioned there that I was sick. I was sick since I was doing the mathematics.
Were you?
The 21st.
I didn't know you were sick at all.
Didn't you? Yeah, that's because you were running around in a haze of alcohol. Where are our kids? I don't fucking know. You get them. But yeah, I'm kind of coming out of it now. I'm coming around. I'm starting to feel good again. But I was sick over Christmas, and so some of my routines went. All right, I don't want the eyes to be thrown up. Listen, I think this is something that
I'll be back there in 2 minutes. I'll get some more wine. I've heard it all before.
Actually, you could get the wine there while I explain why I'm angry at you here. All right.
Okay.
So she's actually literally gone to get the wine. I'll tell you why I'm angry at you, and by the time you come back, I'll have it finished, and then you won't. You'll wake the lads. You'll wake the fucking lads. She's gone out there to get the wine, but why am I angry at her? I'm not angry at her really, but I'm just at a place in my life, right, where I actually think you have to be completely fucking honest about how you are and how you fucking feel in any way, shape or form. But and if anyone's trying to fucking foist an opinion on you that is not your opinion, I think you need to stand your ground and respect that person's opinion, but also stand your own ground. So you're back now, and basically I've just called you, and I won't even say what I called you, right? But it rhymes with sexy woman, right? I'll have to tread carefully there now. Are you gonna?
For anyone on a dry January.
See, there was a very small pour into
you had enough left.
Well, we still should have got the same 50-50. Casarello del Diablo.
Diablo.
Diablo is kind of a devil connotations. I don't know, do you like that?
Well, it's got you picked it out and it's got a devil on the label. So what's that telling me?
Fuck it. Did I pick it out?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at my table here now and I see that love is etched into my table. It's from a magic mushroom trip I took about 6 months ago. I really regret not going out picking shrooms this season. I really regret it. I actually think would fucking think I could definitely do with a fucking trip.
I presume they're off season now, are they?
Yeah, they're gone now. You can only get them once a year. But also
before the frost.
Before the frost, and like
some people sow daffodils before the last frost, before the first frost. No.
Yeah, that's the world has gone fucking weird with weather, really. To be honest.
No, what I'm saying is that, like, you know, some people's priority is getting the flowers down for the next year, the bulbs down.
Yeah.
Cornelius is
go on, finish this now. Go on, fucking finish it.
Well,
because I've got a
out
great
dancing through the fields looking for his mushrooms.
But I also planted garlic and onions. So
nah,
yeah,
not good enough.
Daffodils will
but
come and
people
go.
Are still
but the onions and garlic will
come and
sustain, but they'll sustain health in our bodies.
People are still stuck on you dancing through the fields looking for your mushrooms.
Oh, this fucker's gonna wake up now.
He's not. Stop talking like that.
I love my sons. I love them. I love Harvey and I love Hunter and I love Dylan. And Harvey and Hunter are living with us and they're hard work. So sometimes I'm going to call them fuckers. But I love them. But yeah, I'm coming around anyway physically. That's a bad cough he's got there. But you know what? You're dead right, Noelle. And I'm glad you asked me about how I'm doing mentally as well. I'm just... Go on, yeah?
Nothing.
I'm doing good mentally.
Are you?
I'm doing all right mentally. I tell you, if social media is wrecking my head, I think I don't know. Do you find this now? Right, this is going to sound very kind of conspiratorial, kind of weird, but do you actually find that time, since we've gone back to reality, we'll say, that time has sped up? Like, I'm talking genuinely. I think time is going faster now than it has ever done in my life. Is it just me?
I think that during COVID we had a reset, and then everybody's not able for the aftermath, the re-ramp up that happened. Do you know?
So do
you reset your expectations during COVID and then ramped up so much afterwards that it's like, I can't. Or, well, I think people are definitely more aware of, do you know what, I'm not going to book myself in there now for 3 things tomorrow. Do you know? Actually, I'm meeting a friend. I can't, you know, or...
I'm all for that. Like, I really think that you have to, like, I can't do that because I don't want to, almost. Do you know what I mean? Like, I suppose without saying I don't want to, but like, I can't do that, you know, or I don't want to do that because I've been doing it for such and such. And
or like, I don't want to, I actually can't do that. I'm wrecked from.
That's a better
like
example.
Being, you know what, I don't have the headspace for going to that next week. You know, it's all about honesty, really, in that sense of when you say no to stuff.
Yeah.
But I think people are probably saying more no to stuff because people wound down during COVID a bit.
Yeah.
So I don't think time has sped up. I think just that it feels busier.
Do you think it was as busy before COVID and then COVID slowed us all down and we're just finding it the adjustment to get back to where we were? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think people are more resistant to going back to where they were. So they're, you know, it's...
Yeah. We're talking about Chris there and in the podcast. I found his lockdown story inspiring. That he went back. Like, as a comedian, right, one of the hardest things to do is to, like, you're always putting yourself, you know, you're trying to say, oh yeah, I'm very busy, I'm gigging here, I'm doing this, and you're putting yourself out all the time. And the last thing you'd want to say is, like, what you want to do is when you meet someone, you want to do, and they ask you, how are you getting on? You want to be able to say, I'm doing great. I'm flying.
Yeah,
Loads of
I'm happy
gigs.
out. Or, you know, modestly you say,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm happy out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gigging away the whole time.
I
Yeah,
have a big
yeah.
gig coming up over here. If you're around, please call. Do you know that?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what you want to
yeah.
do. And you know, and Chris couldn't get to PUP, and so he had to get a proper job as an electrician. And what I used to absolutely admire, I think he's actually inspired me, right, is we would be like, he asked me to go on tour with him last year, right, and he'd be meeting these owners of clubs, and they'd be coming out, and he'd be like, yeah, I'm racked by, I was working all day, do you know, totally unashamedly, just being himself and honest. And that type of honesty, that's kind of rare, because I think people wear masks all the time, certain types of masks. I'll just say this in this way, so that, you know, it's a small bit of self-preservation. Also, it's a little less blunt. I won't offend the other person as much. Do you know, that kind of way?
Or, well, I think you tend to overthink the wrong things and then say the wrong thing for the small things. Would that be?
Could you elaborate on that now, please?
We say to go into, I don't think I'm able to do those 2 gigs on the one night because I've got this, you know, I've got this big gig tomorrow night. I don't think I'll be able to do the gig tonight, the night before. And you're like, oh, maybe I'll just, you know, maybe. When I first met you, you'd have been like, oh, maybe I'll just say that I won't have the car that night. And I'd be like, no, just say you have a big gig the following night and you'll be too wrecked if you go to that gig to do the other gig. Yeah. But you'd love a gig at another time.
Oh, definitely. I was like that. And I think I've been like that all my life, kind of like masking like little mini lies, like to just white lies is what my mother would call
lies,
them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just go, do you know what? I like, I'm sick, but I can't tell them I'm sick. I'll tell them the car's after going on fire in Shamballimore, and I'm after twisting.
But that did happen actually. For whenever actually that did. We cancelled on a parent-teacher meeting. I doubt Harvey's teacher listens to this, but if you do, that did actually happen.
That did actually.
Just in case it sounds like an excuse.
But that's the thing. But I also think that I am very less. I'm not like that anymore.
No
really,
way.
You know,
because whenever, not to take credit, but whenever you would ask me what'll I say, and I say it to everyone, and the amount of people that would say what'll I say, you know, I said just say the truth.
Well, there was one time now recently, right, where I had to tell a lie, right? I had to say I was sick.
Oh yeah.
And I had shat myself, and I was like, I can't say I'm after shitting myself here, and so like, I mean, I'm not perfect yet.
No, yeah, and I think that one is probably into a group message of what, 5 people.
Shush now, we won't go any further there now.
It's fair enough to say that. What did you say?
I just said I was sick.
Oh yeah.
But I was sick as
technically
well.
You
technically I was I technically, like, on a technicality I was, but like,
technically you charted yourself. You'd hope to God that there was a sickness
now.
behind that.
I went on about myself shitting myself just before Christmas on the way to fucking rehearsal, so we'll change the subject. But you don't think time is speeding up anyway? That's interesting. Do you know what now, right? So just listeners anyway, right? Today's episode is going to be a 2-parter, okay? And the second part is going to be on my Patreon, because I want to give my patrons exclusive content, and my queen here is exclusive. So
no, anyway,
yeah,
wasn't always.
So like, we're fucking 23 minutes into this bastarding podcast, and I haven't even got anywhere near where I want to get for the first podcast, which means that our Patreon podcast, there's a good chance we're going to be pasted on it.
No, come on, so speed up.
All right, okay. Right, speed. See, you told me time wasn't flying. Hey.
That's not funny.
But you know what? It is actually. It's called callback. It's very funny. But you know what? I'm actually very happy that you did ask me that question about my spirituality. How am I feeling spiritually? I'm actually delighted that you brought it up. Thank you for it. Gratitude is one of the things that I'm into. Well, I'm trying to get into it. Well, I'm into it a bit. I'm in a gratitude group now with my mum and my sisters.
Oh yeah.
They finally left me in. They had it for ages, like, and I was like, why am I not allowed in this fucking group? But they do a lot of things together, like, you know. So it's a bit sexist.
I suppose most of the time they're just grateful you're not there.
Yeah, but oh no, that didn't go up now. I was trying to put up a story of you there earlier on, but
just too hot.
I like the gratitude. I'm going to go into the group there now and read out some of the grateful.
Well, don't be taking the piss now, or you'll be X'd again out of it.
I know, I love it. I love it. So I do, all right? I'm not taking the piss, but this is spiritually, right? This is something that's good, that I find is good. If you're looking to do something to fucking raise your vibration in January, right? And that's what the Patreon episode is going to be about, guys. It's going to be about our resolutions. It's our New Year's resolutions. We're going to be talking about them on the Patreon, but on this particular and this particular gratitude thing, I just think it just raises your vibration. All these positive things every Tuesday we come in. So I'm just going to read out some random ones, right? Today I'm grateful for completing my course last month. It's an actual dream come true. The 300 hours is really hard and I'm exhausted, but I'm grateful to be on this path. That's my sister who's over in India learning to be a yoga teacher.
She give permission now for that to be on the podcast?
She's been on the podcast. She's great. She won't mind. And look, if I make any money from this particular episode, I'll give it all to my sisters. All right, this particular episode. But I just think, isn't that such a lovely thing to hear, right? Because I would, you would never put that into, you'd never
put that into the family WhatsApp, like going, hey lads.
Cliona would never text me and go, hey, do you know what? How's it going, Connie? I just finished my trip. And I just think it's a lovely thing. Here's another one then, right? Grateful for our family. I'm torn as to who I believe in on the religious levels, but whoever he/she is, I give thanks every day for good health. I'm a contradiction in terms because I'm not bad for saying a few prayers. Happy Christmas to you all and all our beautiful grandchildren. That's from my mum. That's just beautiful. She's basically saying, I don't know if there's a God, but I'm praying to one. I'm
glad of what I'm thankful to them anyway.
Yeah, that's just gorgeous. That's just
kind of hedging your bets, really.
Well, I suppose she is kind of going, yeah, if you're there, I'm kind of in, all right, and if you're not, I fucking know it.
I still have Jesus.
Yeah. Grateful for a lovely time at home and getting to see lots of family and friends. That's Mary, my sister who lives in Scotland, who brought home her 2 daughters and her husband, and they were here, and we had just a beautiful time, and she saw all her friends. And anyway, spiritually, right, that's a digression, right? Spiritually, I feel that, and I like to talk about this. I like to talk about this especially when I'm on with you. Physically, mentally, spiritually, I think it's getting me through a tough period because I'm finding life a bit tough at the moment. In the last couple of months, I found life pretty tough. I don't know how you've been feeling it, babe, but
I think you do know. Go back to our last podcast. We re-listened to that there. That's how I was feeling, I guess.
Yeah. But I think these things have helped me. Affirmations, call them prayers, as my mum has said. My mum says prayers. She doesn't even know if God exists, but it makes her feel happy. And this is the thing I was going back to. Each to their fucking own. Whatever gets you by, whatever your opinion is, that's fine. Have it. But let other people have their opinion as well. Anyway, this year on the podcast, guys, right? I'm going to have new guests and old guests, and I'm going to have solo episodes, and I'm going to have teamed episodes. And I also want, if any of you are interested, I'd love to do an episode from your perspective. What would you like me to do an episode on? Slide into my DMs on Instagram, or send me a message on conversations at corneliusthecomic@gmail.com. And I'd love to do something like that. I might also do a live podcast this year. I'll see. But yeah, it's all good. Right.
You ready to end it?
I think I haven't even brought you onto the stage.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think you don't need to.
Do you know what I mean? Well,
well, we never did trending topics.
No, and we have time.
Okay.
So I'm going to go. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage my favourite human. You're my favourite human. Who I'll dance along beside.
Oh, Jesus.
Till the day arrives that one of us has to shuffle off this mortal coil. Preferably
The likes of that. No, I'll shove you off the black water.
Well, as long as I go first. That's the rule. You're not allowed to die before me. That's the rule. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Queen, Noelle Patricia O'Sullivan.
I'm currently doing Hunter's shy face.
How are you, love?
I'm good. Great. Very good, actually. Yeah. Good today.
Today was a good day, wasn't it? Let's talk about today.
Okay.
Tell me about today. Why was today good?
Today was a good day. Well, is there noise? No. I think we had a good 24 hours, will I say? 48 hours. So I finished yesterday.
I think a good
morning.
48 hours is good, yeah.
And I got decent sleep yesterday. I got decent sleep the day before when I was on nights. So I woke refreshed enough. We went to town to the toy shop because the boys have been talking about the toy shop pretty much since Stephen's Day, because they got money for Christmas.
The January sales.
And Harvey got some money for his birthday, and so they both got money for Christmas, so they were waiting to the January sales to go to the toy shop. And so Hunter the last week was, I go toy shop? No, we're going on Tuesday when Mommy finishes work. I go toy shop. So, and actually Hunter, isn't he so cute when he goes to the toy shop? Hunter's been to the toy shop now, I'm going to say 4 times in his whole life. He's 3.5.
He's like a wide-eyed fawn.
And so before COVID, during COVID, he hadn't been. So after COVID, I'll never forget the first time. He's only been, I think, 3 times. And the first time afterwards, he was just mesmerised and looking at all the toys and just touching them. And didn't even realise that he could take something. That there was a part of it taking something away from the toy shop.
There is something absolutely, you're actually right, there's something raw and beautiful about watching a child inside in the toy shop, a big toy shop.
Yeah.
Like World Wonder now in Mallow, that's the one we took them to. But go on anyway.
It's not exactly a big toy shop. It's a regular sized toy shop.
Look at the size of Hunter compared to, and there's two floors, and there's toys all the way down on both sides, and then upstairs there's all sections. No, that's huge to him, like.
I know, it's big enough for him, but bring him to Smith's, like.
Oh, sure, look, that's the next level.
We'd lose him.
That's the next level.
We'd lose him if we brought him to Smith's.
And we were going to go to Smith's, but Harvey was like,
it's a bit far away.
It's a bit far away. All right, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, okay. So, we went in and they had a budget and they both stuck to their budgets, and Harvey spent a while picking out a present. He had a birthday today, and he first of all wanted to get that present, and which was very sweet that he was, wanted to sort that out first.
Yeah, his friend's present. That is sweet.
We should have got that out of his birthday money. If we'd have been right.
Well,
we did.
Well, I fucking paid for the whole lot of it.
But
all I got was 100 from the cards, and the whole thing cost me.
You got more because it was birthday money as well.
I don't think I saw that.
You got all of it. You got at least 170.
You're playing now on my
180, I'd say 190. So you did out of it.
No, I didn't, because I got the dinner as well afterwards. Here we look, and you'd swear now we split the fucking bill. We're like we're like we all, just so you know, we all our money is our money. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we still have this kind of a thing, like, you get that there now, I get that there, between us, kind of a laughing, kind of a joke thing. I'll catch you there and that. But it's still
it's actually more, since the price of living has gone up, the cost of living has gone up. It's like, actually, no, you pay for that.
But go on anyway, go on.
But yeah, so that all went really well. And sometimes it doesn't. When we go out with the boys, sometimes there's
we went to a
meltdown, and then we went to.
You're making a face at me here now, but it was felt like. It
was dirty. The walls were quite dirty, but the food was tasty enough. But we went to an Italian, so there the boys got their pizza. I went to the shop because we can talk about that in the resolutions. But I went and I needed lipstick, so I went to Boots, and while I was waiting for the food, and came back, and that all might seem like small stuff, but it was nice to be able to do it. And it was nice that when I came back, the boys were happily sitting up with their dad, and they had their pizza, we ate, and we came home.
Yeah.
All without
like
any
they were
meltdowns. And
they were constantly whinging and complaining, but that was actually great for us.
Well, it was fine. They sat at the table, and they had a lovely time, and we all left and had a. No, there was obviously, there was stress, and there was keeping them at the table, and there was keeping them entertained.
And they insisted on opening all their toys, and Hunter had a big massive
Paw Patrol truck.
That was the size of
the table.
Half the table. And
quarter of the table, to be.
But I talked him down from opening it up, but then eventually it was only a certain length of time before he was going to put up with that. And long story short, but even though it was super stressful and we were on the edge the whole time, it was still great.
Well, it was one that we've come and sat back into the car and said that was enjoyable.
Yeah.
We've had many restaurant adventures where we have said, got back into the car and go,
never again.
Not necessarily, because we know that's a lie, but gone, I don't think, was there any time at that time that was enjoyable? And there wasn't, but we do it to ourselves again. But I think that was probably one of the most successful trips to a restaurant we've had. But that's back to being grateful and thankful that and appreciating those good times, even though it was kind of stressful. And then 100%. Today, I brought Harvey. He had a birthday, and he went off very happy, so super excited. Well, actually, yesterday, I said to him, now you know you're going to the party now, and I'll be dropping you off. And he gets this kind of anxious kind of, okay. And it's like his brave, I'm not going to cry face. And, okay. Do you think maybe you could stay? And I said, of course. I said, Harvey, of course I can stay. If you want me to stay, I can stay. Yeah, I think that might be a better plan. Okay, that sounds great. And his lips, like, they don't just drop. They kind of go, like, down, like a meme down, you know, like one of those guys, guys with
heartbreaking. It's
like
he came
with
out
the white face paint and
the clowns,
yeah,
down, so like he came out of the womb with that face, and I'm like,
this worried kind of.
Yeah.
But I said, but you know what, Harv, I will tell his mom. His mom has my number, and I'm going to be nearby, and so you can ring me at any time if you want to leave the party or if you want me to join. I said, I can be there, but I think you'd be better off if you give it a try and see how you get on. And again, if you want me to, okay, maybe that's a good idea. So, Mum, I like that plan.
I'll just pick it up a little bit from there, right? Because I went to collect him, okay, from that party.
And he ran off, he ran off into the party. He was in the cinema. I didn't even have to say goodbye to him. He was so happy. I knew, like, he didn't question. He didn't. I said to him before, I said, so I'll leave you off. Yeah, okay, Mum. Yeah. Like, that was his mind made up. He was going to be fine.
So I went to collect them. They were in McDonald's, okay. I went in, collected them, was talking to all the boys and girls in there and to the parents and all that kind of carry on. Brought him back to the car, put on the seatbelt, and we were driving out to collect you and Hunter because we had to go to Cork to collect my new car, and 17-year-old Yaris. And I said to Harv, we have to go to Cork now. And he said to me, huh? Why didn't you just do that when I was in the cinema? He got the full fucking circle. And and then I said, sure, what would happen if you needed Mom? Dad, I would have been totally fine. That's like, because the thing is, you wanted to do that while he was gone. And I was like, no, just in case we're not going, too far away. In case he wants us. But we're fucking flying out of the country now next time. We went up to Cork then to collect a new car. A Yaris off my dad, and that was kind of lovely with
Black
the boys.
Motors.
Black Rock Motor Company. If you're looking for the car, go down there. And
if you're looking to sell a car,
sell or buy a car, go down to Black Rock Motor Company, and they will sort you out. John O'Sullivan is my father. He will give you a good deal. I don't know what his mobile number is, but he's on the internet. But anyway. It was
lovely.
Wasn't it lovely with the boys running around the place and cuddling up to...
And they would... Do you see the big run over? Of course, John was in the middle of talking to customers when we arrived. And Harvey ran straight over and up into John's arms. It was very cute.
We did highlight and low light in the car, right? We on the way home, and his highlight was spending time with Daddy John.
Oh. And he wanted to... We were going to go... We went to the Marina Market, and he said, I'm just going to stay here with Daddy John. Yeah. You can collect me afterwards. Yeah. But we didn't.
Very sweet. We were like, no, you're coming with us. But yeah, it was just a lovely day. We got the car, we went something to eat in the Marina Market, and yeah, it was just a lovely, lovely, lovely day. And we're here now, fucking drinking wine.
And they went to bed easy enough? 45, half an hour?
So yeah, I'm grateful enough for that. I tell you what, we're going to wrap up the podcast, right? And we're going to do trending topics with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan. Okay.
I love how you say wrap up. That could be another 15 minutes, depending on how well you know the topics.
Well, exactly. All right. So the first, so trending topics. Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, Season 3, Episode 1.
Woo!
#beds.
Beds? Oh, you're on about the hospital.
I'm not on about anything.
That's the trending topic, is the hospital. I actually heard the news, and I think I might have been wrong. I think it might actually be physical beds that there's a shortage of. So I thought when they're on about beds, it's actually the staffing of the wards.
Yeah.
So I don't know, because they actually they alluded on the radio this evening. Now in the news, like the 5-minute section of it on the news, they did really make it out that it's physical beds, but I thought it was staffing for those beds, that in some hospitals there's empty beds.
And it's like, and I was making the point to you, what we're talking about is basically there is a massive shortfall of beds in Irish hospitals, and they've come out today saying that they need 5,000 beds, I think. Was it 5,000 beds? I think it was 5,000 beds. And I was saying to Noelle, I said, I can't believe that in 2023, on prime time fucking Radio 1 news during the day, that the number one thing still fucking is beds. All my life I'm hearing beds.
Hospital
There's
waiting.
not enough beds. And now there's like, I think it was 5,000 fucking beds is what they need. And there was I can't really do it now, because there was a survey that I could definitely kind of bounce the idea on it. Well, basically, this is it vaguely, right? It was a survey done 20 years ago where they had a certain amount of beds, and they said they had 5,000 beds. We need to get 2,000 more beds. That's the shortfall, right? And the population was at 3 million or 3.5 million. And now, 20 years later, the population in Ireland is close to 6 million. And the same amount of beds
are available
is what they have now.
There
has been no extra beds, and now the number is 5,000 beds.
Yeah.
So we've spent money on these voting machines that are redundant. There's been just money squandered, and like, this is our health. Like, this is our health. Like, I don't know. Like, it's fucking. What do you think? Like, do you think it's acceptable? Like, should we fucking revolt, you and me? Should we should we be burning flags out? Like, should the people be rising up?
Are you going to do the Mario flag from?
No, I'm fucking busy enough, so I don't know if I'll be able to do a lot of the work myself.
Oh, right.
But no, I'm serious. Like, or are we just fucking Egypts? I think we're fucking Egypts, half of us, to be honest. With our head in the sand.
I'd say head in the sand. I'm definitely my head in the sand.
Same.
Well, no, you're probably more in touch with it than I am in general.
What do I do about it? Fuck all.
No, but you're more
Talk
aware in general, I suppose.
One
But I don't let myself.
I'm creating awareness on my podcast about it, Noelle. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's one
That's
step.
what I'm doing. Okay.
Well, we did talk about that before. About the steps that you can take when we were talking about immigrants and stuff. I think it's important to do whatever steps.
Yeah.
So I think it's still important from the start, even if it is just talk about it here. It's the first step, because actually, after we had our conversation, I felt in more of a position to talk about other stuff. So over Christmas, on one specific occasion, that perhaps if we hadn't had our discussion before Christmas, I wouldn't have had the confidence to voice my opinion more.
Sure, I got into a fight with a fella in a sauna.
Oh yeah.
About fucking, he was going.
I think you had that fight, so we probably discussed that at the last podcast.
Okay.
I think you did.
Yeah. If you haven't heard about that fight, send me an email.
Because he likes it.
Subscribe, sign up to the Patreon, guys. The details for the Patreon are in the comment, or are in the about section of this episode. Sign up, and you're going to hear myself and Noelle I'm well on here now. Anyway, I'll be honest about it, and I've got another 3/4 of a glass of wine to go, so I'm going to be langers on that. But
on the immigrants, I would say watch the swimmers.
The swimmers.
It's just it's a really great story, but it's really interesting.
I got about 2 or 3 Instagram messages from the last time, people who've watched the swimmers from listening to you talk.
Oh yeah, so that was the immigrants thing before Christmas,
and it was fucking unbelievable. Anyway, hashtag cost of living crisis.
Oh, and we already mentioned the cost of living. Cost of living.
It is a fucking crisis, because I'm fucking having to pay for more shit.
Well, no, I suppose in all seriousness, we have to be very grateful and thankful that we are still able.
That's true.
We are in a financial position that we don't have to worry about paying our bills, right?
Well, we work hard to.
No, but I'm just saying now there's a lot of people who work extremely, extremely hard and have to worry about paying their bills.
Do you know what? You're right.
So
you're right.
We are very, very lucky
Yeah.
that
And
the position
you know
we're
what?
in.
I am really, really grateful for it as well. I'm grateful for the life that we have. Grateful for your job. I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for all the opportunities that have been afforded to us.
Yeah.
Gratitude.
But I think
gratitude.
I think it
There you
is
go,
ridiculous that, you know, what it takes, how much it takes to survive, how much it takes to live now,
Yeah.
how much it takes to run a house, to feed a family, to drive a car,
Yeah.
heat a house.
Everything has gone up.
Everything.
I've never seen a jump so extreme.
Yeah.
In stuff. I like everybody knows it. If you have a car, everyone knows the petrol stuff during the week. But even like down to the thing for me is the bottle of Diet Coke.
I know. I think we discussed that too in the last podcast. I'm nearly sure, did we?
Well, I'm just talking. But this is just came up today. I'm just talking about that.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna. And if we have, I'm repeating myself. All right. The bottle of Diet Coke has gone up from 170 to 220. It's ridiculous. That's all I'm going to say about that. But that's a 50 cents jump on something that's a discretionary item.
Yeah,
that I'd
I
have
think,
every
and
day.
now I think the discretionary items, like, I think if it's just cutting them, then you're in a really comfortable position. Do you know what I mean? That's what you know what I mean? We're not, we shouldn't get our takeaway coffees and we shouldn't get our, no. Hey, in saying that, we're not the best for savings and stuff like that. So there's people who are cutting their coffees because they're saving a huge amount.
Yeah.
We're not. We're just like...
We've no savings, but we fucking are caffeinated, is what you're saying.
I'm
we're
definitely caffeinated. I work, I work...
I mean, we're switched on, but we're fucking
60
broke.
hours a week, I'm caffeinated to the hills. But...
Yeah.
Yeah,
How much has the coffee gone up? I know we might have talked about the Coke, but what's the coffee gone up? Like,
I'm really bad. I think it's too...
What do you mean you're really bad?
For knowing the price. So I think in a petrol station it's probably about $2.95. Actually, I think it's $2.95. I saw it today. Then in the Marina Market it was $3.60. So I don't know what that's up from though.
Yeah.
But I think that's a large coffee as well. And
$3.60 is a lot for a coffee if you think about it. Like.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
But you know what? It's funny because the one I had today, I would say that's kind of okay. It's the ones I have. It's the ones that I have. I don't drink. Well, I could say I don't drink a huge amount of coffees that I could. The amount of time I'm on the road.
You drink 4 or 5 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah, but how many coffee cups out of the house?
Would you buy 1 a day?
No.
Would you buy 3 a week?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you're talking, that's 12 quid on coffees, like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'd be a bottle of Diet Coke a day, which is like fucking 14 quid. 12 and 14. You know? It fucking... Suddenly you're talking about like, 26, 27, 28, 30 quid, like. Do you know what I mean? Just on
I actually find if I stop for petrol, it's the other stuff. It mightn't just be the coffee, it's the sweets or the sweets, yeah.
Yeah, fucking stopping for petrol.
Which is bad for... obviously health and pocket, like it's both, like it's just.
But the thing to do now is to get it in the centre inside in Mallow where you can pay at the pump.
You can't pay with that with your phone.
You can't pay with the phone. I'll just fit it up for you. I was going to fit it up for you. Anyway,
digress.
The last
but
one.
yeah, I suppose
go on,
very thankful to end that point. Very thankful that we can afford with the price. But I suppose our current scenario was meant to be short term. It's increased as in me working the shift.
Yeah.
But it's part of living now.
Well, it's the goal. We might touch on this on the Patreon as well. Like we're going to try and look at our house this year as a bit of a business. Try and see what we can do in terms of streamlining and saving and stuff like that. So if we do cut out the coffees and the Coke, for example, just using them as an example, and we, instead of squandering that €30 a week, we use that 100 and...
Like, that's a lot in a week.
That's a lot. Like,
it's just Diet Coke. So you've just said €30, right? By 4 is 120.
But it's actually probably more. Like,
because he always...
Like, I think the coffee is about... Like,
he always multiply it by 12 and then divides by 4.
Well, like, if you're drinking 3 coffees out a week, right? Okay. At 4 quid, right? That's 12, right?
You've upped it by €1 now each.
But it is about £4 for a takeaway coffee, Noelle. Like, I
No,
mean,
it's $2.95. Is it?
so
I think.
three so by 4.
Patrick, how much is the coffee?
I actually think it's about. I'm going to say £3.50 because
Okay, let's split it. Let's split it. Go on, Sokan. Don't cry about it.
No, I'll cry if I want to. My feelings are valid. Stop making my feelings invalid.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, darling, but it's €2.
3 multiplied by what the fuck are we calling it? £3.50. Fuck this for a game of soldiers.
He's got the calculator out.
All right, so that's £10.50, right? Okay, and my Diet Cokes are like they're $2.20 now at the moment. I probably wouldn't have 7 Diet Cokes a week, but I would have
5.
4. I would have 4, I'd say, to be honest. I'm going to be honest, like 4. So 8.80 plus 12, wasn't it?
Connie always estimates himself down and me up, or vice versa, whichever's better and worse.
So we're looking at about just over £20, right?
A week.
Right. On those two, right?
By 52.
By 52 divided by 12, right? So that's €90 a month. Do you know what I mean? So that's €90 a month multiplied by 12 months. That's £1,000. Like, that's €1,081. Like, oh my God, that's so much fucking money.
Do you know what we should do, actually?
Fucking
so we
hell,
should probably.
that's so
I
much
wonder,
money.
can you work it out? With Revolut, you can do pretty much anything, but like.
Fuck's sake, €1,000.
So right, we should probably do. Do you know what we could do is we should put
I'm
€500.
probably lowballing there. We're not including our sweets or our chocolate there.
No,
as
that
well.
was just the coffee and just the Coke. Do you think either of us, anyone who knows or looks at us, thinks we go in and get just our fucking coffee or our Diet
We're
Coke?
not going in there getting a coffee and an apple, please.
Sorry,
an apple slice. I'm sorry, an apple tart.
Yeah, the tart, please, and cream and custard too.
And I'll have it on the way home.
Yeah, and one for at home.
Oh, wait till you hear the next fucking thing that's trending. We're just going to go on to it because this is fucking very long. Hashtag Operation Transformation.
Oh my God, if they wanted it like a couples, like we would be prime. We are prime candidates for it. We got shift. We would like.
I'd say we'd kick the shit out of it as well if we were an Operation Transformation. Remember when we did CrossFit?
But our childminder would be like hiding in the background because she wouldn't want to be seen.
Why? Oh yeah, but she might. Yeah, sure.
But anyway, no. So the Operation Transformation and the values that it instills, and down with the diet culture, and yeah.
What do you think of diet culture?
No, we're on Operation Transformation. So
What do you think of Operation Transformation?
Right. There's aspects of it that I like. There's also huge aspects that I don't like. The bullying, the making them come out in a bra, a sports bra.
Take the bra off, like.
Stop. And the leggings and the weigh-in, and there is a part in society that like it and are part of that community, and I don't think you can ditch it too much. I understand that a lot of what they're talking about on it is wrong, probably, and I do probably think that the people that are saying that Operation Transformation is bad are right.
Do you think it's bad? I honestly,
I don't
watch it.
I don't know the science enough behind it, but I have seen the parts where
this is just an opinion podcast.
I know, yeah, but I'm not. What I'm saying is, I believe a lot of the people that are going to be saying it's bad.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah.
But I don't. It's again. I don't have the knowledge behind it.
Well, it's like
to say
so
why,
popular. Like, I mean, it can't be too bad if it's. Do you know what I mean? Like, if.
But it definitely feeds into the diet culture and the low fat and like.
But
like they always pick like now we'd probably be prime candidates. Father dying in the arms, mental illness. We'd probably.
You'd throw me in for the mental illness.
Yeah.
And you would all right. Okay.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Nice.
Like they look for for the program itself. It looks for a sob story for why you're the way you are, and you have to lose weight to be healthy. And and that's not necessarily true. Like
No,
you don't need you don't need.
You don't.
Something desperate happening to you to be overweight.
No.
And you can be overweight and happy and healthy.
You can.
And they don't focus on anyone who's really happy. Like...
Yeah. I get.
But then they also, the panel, it's like, oh, your target for this week's was 3.5 pounds and you only lost 2 pounds. What are you doing? You've been a disgrace to yourself.
Yeah,
like that shit. Like that is actually what it goes into.
But can I just say, and I'll tell you now, this is just devil's advocate, because I actually agree with everything you're saying. All right, I'm on that side. But like, there's a train of thought that would say, look, you need to motivate, and motivation comes in different forms. You know, some people like the hand around the shoulder. Some people need to be almost berated. You know.
Yeah, well, I think that if that's the case, then they're really shit at reading people on that show.
Yeah.
Because there's people crying in disappointment that they haven't.
There's people crying.
Yeah.
While they're being.
While they're standing up.
Are they being fat shamed live
they're
on television?
They're 100% being fat shamed live on
sick.
television.
That's sick.
I mean, like.
Yeah, that's so sick. Like.
It's desperate. It's not. I think I would like to think that back at the very beginning when it was originally started, that it had good aspects of it. When in a sense.
Have good things for the community. Do you see the way they're all out walking and stuff like that?
So
and then they get people onto the websites for their menus and shit. So like, okay, so like, does it do good as well? Or does the good that it does, is that enough to outweigh the bad that it does?
No, it's not.
So it should be fucked off the air then?
Yeah, but the ratings are probably still very good because
people love misery, man.
Yeah, and they love a good cry, they
sensationalizing fucking feelings, man. That's what it is.
But it's also, there's still such a huge culture that, well, wants to probably see this shit, but also knows, I don't know, that the whole diet culture and all of that is just weighing into it, and that's 100%. I don't think it looks at any of the well-being side of it. Really, it kind of talks to doing it, and there is a psychiatrist or a psychologist, I'd say, on it. But I don't think it's enough. Like, I don't think it has nothing about celebrating your body and being healthy.
Well, that's
it's all about the
calories.
The calories. So it's
the
all
exercise.
about the diet food, not the wholesome food. And
like I tell you, sure, I'm always on about fucking, my own little things, my fasting and my saunas and stuff like that. But like, I know for a fact that these fads are exactly what they're fads. It's like you have to do stuff long term. You have to put in the things.
And they hate the idea of like, I remember years ago, someone it was an older lady. I don't watch it really anymore. But I dipped in and out of it.
I think it would depress me if I watched it.
But like, she was gone to a party. She was in her 50s. I remember that, and she went to, we were dipping in and out of it. That's only probably 2 years ago. She was at a friend's.
And she was from Kilkenny. She was great crack.
Yeah.
And she was doing everything right.
But she went out and she had vodkas and she had sparkling water and lime or something. And she was berated for going out and having her drinks. Yeah, but like, it's reality as well, like. Yeah. Do you know, you have to sustain it.
That's it. And it's, that's what I think. It's getting the right habits in place, but keeping the habits going. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because the show was only on for 6 or 8 weeks, so they want the before and after. It's so fucking. If you think it's how evil it is, they're bringing it. Like, if the show was so holier than thou, they wouldn't be bringing it out now at this time of year, when it's like it's preying on people's sensibilities. They've eaten after Christmas. They're feeling down. They might be single. They might not get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or looking in the mirror, feeling shit about yourself. Now is the time to sensationalize.
Like, I think the community thing is good.
Yeah, that is good.
But
so are we saying it's good? So yeah.
No, like overall it's obviously shit. But
yeah, fuck it, it's shit. All right, Operation Transformation.
Shit.
It's 2 thumbs down, and we recommend you do not watch it. That is the end of the podcast, the first padcast of 2023. Me and my beautiful queen, we got through a full hour nearly, a full fucking hour, babe. And we'll have to open another bottle of wine.
No, we won't.
Won't we?
Yeah. I won't anyway.
I might skin up again. So thanks, guys. Listen, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, please rate, review, and subscribe. It really, really helps me out.
Do you think you get new listeners? Or are there people who...
I get people who dip in and dip out, and I definitely do get new listeners, because like, I've done a few other people's podcasts, and people from those podcasts have come over and...
Because I don't know, I always think it's gas.
But you know how I get, to answer your question, how I get new listeners, and this is how you can help me out, guys, is if you like this podcast, share it on your story on Instagram, and then like go make a comment, go, this was a great podcast, Noelle's the fucking... But
you know I can't share on my...
You can, I can show you.
I can share...
If you go into Spotify, there's a, like...
We'll no, but like if you this is kind of digressing, but if you have a post up and I go to share it, right? If I click share, it only gives me like directly to share with somebody directly, not to post it on my story.
I don't know about
I
that.
I can post to somebody's grid story. Do you know the scroll down part? But I can't post somebody's daily story.
Look, figure it out.
I know, because he's always giving out to me for not sharing enough of his stuff. But no, because I was just wondering.
That's private stuff now, right? That's
for
right. Patrons, right? That little nugget of fucking information is behind the paywall. All right, we're not giving that shit out for free, okay? So, and speaking of that, guys, I am well fucking on here. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to say thank you so much for listening. Thank you for all your support over the last 2 years.
We meet a good few. I meet
you do
a good few people that.
There are people that like the podcast and
mention the podcast.
Yeah, and we love you. And I'm excited for the new season, but I'm really excited as well for my new podcast, Tree by the Lee, guys, and that's out as well next week. So please,
is it Tree or is it the
THREE by the Lee? BYTLEE.
No, I think they'll spell the rest of it. It was just whether it was 3 the number or the letters.
All right, okay, the number. All right.
No, it's not. It's the letters.
Fucking letters. Anyway, paywall. Get in behind the paywall. I love you. Thank you. Good night and God bless. And Shtay by the wall. Shtay by the wall.